When the Titanic sank, what was the first thing that happened to the crew? Phil?
Terrible luck for them, but they actually had their 6-month review. And...
They drowned.
Did you say they drowned?
I said they drowned.
Oh,
yeah.
dear, no.
No, I was going to say they were fired.
Every single member of the crew had their wages stopped at the moment of the sinking. They stopped paying them. The moment a ship sinks, it is no longer a ship, therefore you can't work on it, therefore the White Star Line paid them up to the minute of the sinking and not the end.
I would imagine that in a sinking situation, you'd hope to be getting time and a half.
This is it. Frankly, double bubble.
Just a little something at the back end.
Yeah. As soon as you're in the water, you've got to be looking for work.
Get on your pedalo and look for work. But apparently at the time, White Star were considered one of the more generous employers. I think it was £5 a month, not very much. Do you know about the Duff Gordon family on the Titanic?
And their terrible gin.
Very good. No, they offered the crew of Lifeboat number 1 £5 to save their lives. Nobody's quite sure whether this was just greed, saying, I'll give you £5 if you save my life, or whether it was a thank you because their lives were saved. But whatever the result, the crew themselves were in terrible trouble for accepting a bribe. And one poor lad, Albert Horswell, survived. He was one of the lifeboat crew, got home, went to see his mother, who slammed the door in his face and never spoke to him again because she was ashamed that he had taken a bribe.
Yeah. She was also bonkers, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Mrs. Horswell.
Is it true someone dressed as a lady?
supposedly someone did because it was women and children first.
I thought you said somebody dressed as a baby.
Lady.
Yes, cuckoo, indeed. I have a lollipop, and I have no control of my bowels or urination. I am indeed an infant, and I know you think I'm Lord Albemarle, but actually I am a little baby with a beard. Yeah. And, madam, might I tell you I've been a very naughty baby?
So along that path, the ones who were paid £5 were only the able seamen. How can you tell able from ordinary seamen? When you applied for a job as seaman on merchantry, you either registered as an able seaman or an ordinary seaman, and they accepted your word. But you kept a log of your work, which was the real proof of it, and it was called a certificate of continuous discharge. Who was the only survivor of the Crimean War?
When did it officially end, then?
That's what you have to find out. Sebastopol and Balaclava and the charge of the Light Brigade, it's that war, yes.
And we got their cannons and made the VC out of them.
It was around the time that the cannon was being invented. It was around the 1850s, 1854. But in those days, when Britain went to war, because of a very peculiar law, there was one part of Britain that was exempt from being called either England or Scotland.
Berwick.
Berwick-upon-Tweed.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely right. Berwick-upon-Tweed was given a special status as being of the United Kingdom, but not in it. So when British went to war with Russia, it was Victoria, Queen of Britain, Ireland, Berwick-upon-Tweed, and the British dominions beyond the sea was in the phraseology of the declaration of war. But in 1856, they didn't mention Berwick-upon-Tweed in the peace treaty, so it was still technically at war until 1966, when the mayor of Berwick-upon-Tweed actually signed a treaty with Russia, saying, now at last, you can tell the Russian people that they may sleep easily in their beds.
I thought Berwick still was separate, isn't it?
They're in England, but they play in the Scottish League.
Is that right? Excellent. So there we have it. There's a war that went from 1854 to 1966. A creature that had been on a ship at Sebastopol in the war was still alive when the war ended. It was the only thing still alive. A tortoise is absolutely right. It was a naval tortoise called Timothy the Tortoise. Yeah.
Isn't he just the one that just died?
No, there he is. He's fine.
He carried on living until 2004, survivor of the Crimean War. He was ship's mascot of the HMS Queen during the first bombardment of Sebastopol.
Did he actually fight in the war?
No. I could survive the war, but was in it, involved in it, in neighbouring fighting
Then you
tortoise.
crawl back to your line, then you chuck him again.
The glorious fighting tortoises in the British Army.
They didn't use him to send messages.
That's why it took so
The
long
enemy
to
is
win the
coming.
war. Has he delivered the peace treaty yet? He's on his way.
In the Middle Ages, what shape did people think the world was?
Flat.
I know we all think they did, but there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever. They all thought it was round. They all wrote about it as round. The Greeks knew that it was round.
Round and flat.
No,
round.
they thought it was a sphere. Terry Jones, the Python, who is something of a medievalist, as you may know, he blames Washington Irving, the American writer, for one of those being who started this lie, as he puts it. The Greeks knew it was round, he says. Chaucer knew it was round. Roger Bacon wrote about the curvature of the Earth in the 13th century. So,
Well, I
apparently...
think the majority of people didn't really care.
No, but they started.
As indeed we don't now actually care that it's round. If it was square, it wouldn't bother me. I'd rush to the edge. In fact, I'd want to go right to the corner.
You sit on the corner.
How do we know it's round?
Yeah, huh?
Round the world tickets.
One is photographing. Photographing it was a very big help. We took a photograph and we saw that it was
Yes,
round.
but then you could say that about anything about people going to the moon, and we know they didn't.
If it weren't round, all the flights of aeroplanes, if it weren't round, just nothing that we're
How
used
do we
to
know they
would
just don't fly, just circle round for a bit and let you think that you're going miles and miles and miles, and just come down like, you know, a couple of hours away, and they've set Russia up a lot nearer than it is?
It's a really, 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 really long oblong shape.
On a track, like an electric bike, and they
We
just move it.
whizzing
The
round.
plane goes up, the plane doesn't move. They move the country in front of them.
Are all the stars round?
I can't answer that. I think probably most...
But yet you know what people thought 500 years ago.
Can I read books? Yes. Have I visited every star in the universe? No. Is that something that you find difficult to understand? You set me off. You've set Sir off again.
Don't you think that this series has reached the point, with a dedicated following who trust us, that this would be the point where you could say just one thing in a show? You could say, just like this, the world isn't round. It's been proven. Most people will now believe it who watch this show.
Well, I can say with some confidence, ladies and gentlemen, the world is not round. It is an oblate spheroid.
No, that's not what I meant.
No, I'm sorry. I was being literally...
Pine cone. If you'd said the world is shaped like a pine cone. Just to see how many
True,
letters
Lyle.
we get.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it? Get some at last, anyway. Apart from the... well, you know who you are, don't you? And I tried it, and it was a disaster. Yes, no, since the 4th century BC, almost no one in the history of the world has believed that the Earth is flat. It's a common misconception, and indeed the song lyric, they all laughed at Christopher Columbus when he said the world was round. But he didn't think that the world was round. He thought it was actually pear-shaped, funnily enough. Tell me all about the 12 Frenchmen and the 12 Mosquitoes. Dara O'Brien.
Once upon a time, there were 12 Frenchmen called Happy, Sleepy, Arrogant, Furieux, des choses comme ça, bof, and Zutelor. That's 6. Fenêtre, Boulangerie,
Le table.
Le table, of course, and jambon et fromage, the twins. And they used to travel around with mosquitoes, solving adventures.
And what were the mosquitoes called? Fuzzy, stingy.
It was a very, very low-rent 1950s French detective season that involved, at some point, the extraction of a tiny amount of blood from one of the suspects.
Do you know what else a mosquito can be other than a...
It was a World War II plane made out of wood.
Made out of wood, exactly, made out of balsa wood and plywood. What was their great raid?
Tuck shop.
I don't know, was it made into a film?
It was. They were 12 members of the Resistance, the Maquis, and they were due to be shot by the Gestapo. And the Allies would send in these 12 Mosquitoes to bomb the chateau in Amiens, so that all the prisoners would escape.
I can't believe that they just blow the bloody doors off. I think
Basically, that was
the whole place with 12 bombers.
You're right. What happened was they had to go down an avenue of poplars, which was so narrow they had to
Down the
fly.
avenue of poplars.
Yeah, exactly like that. That's what you'll have to do. There were 700 prisoners in the prison. 102 were killed by the raid to start with. 74 were wounded.
Yeah.
Then 258 escaped, of which 179 were rounded up within the next few days by the Germans again.
My girlfriend's grandfather flew one of those, and he actually goes now and visits in Germany with the Luftwaffe pilot whose plane he shot down during the war. And they go and they sit around and, you know, go, ha, great days. But neither of them speak the other language. Like he doesn't speak German, the Luftwaffe doesn't speak English, but they sit there and
sit back
reflect
and...
it. Yeah. The temptation, if you're standing behind it.
a whole reenactment.
And for over 50 years, that German man has been peeing in your granddad's tea.
We had an Airfix model of one of those. I gave it to my dad for his birthday, and he made it before breakfast.
You put the transfers on.
Yeah, painted it and everything.
Yeah.
That's a pain, because you had to put them in hot water and wait for them to slip off. And then, of course, with chubby 6-year-old fingers, you just end up covered in swastikas.
It's not a good look here.
You go to school and they think you're in the BNP, and it's, no, I've been trying to make a hind call, sir.
Now, the year is 1792. It was a notable year for a number of reasons. It was the year the guillotine was first used.
Which was last used in 1960. Point for that.
No, because it's not true. You're wrong.
It is true.
No, it isn't. We'll come to that, I'm afraid. 1977. The last French... Sorry. No, it was a one-legged French criminal who was guillotined in 1977. 1792 was the year the guillotine was first used and the year of birth of the inventor of the computer and the death of the man after whom the sandwich is named. What was invented...
Lord Sandwich.
Yes. Guess. Well, it wasn't going to be Nora Butty, was it?
Charles Babbage.
Charles Babbage, you're right, is the inventor of the computer, so you've all added to that.
Difference engine.
But yes, the difference engine.
I know how many people were at his funeral.
Oh, go on.
3.
Really?
Yeah, only 3 people went to his funeral. None of his friends turned up because he was a laughingstock by the time he died, and he'd invented the computer.
Yeah, I know.
Which was only recently
They rebuilt one, didn't they?
Science Museum and turned it, and it works.
In Vietnam, the guillotine was last used in 1960.
However, in France, in 1977... But
En France.
En France, exactly, en France.
Has anyone survived it?
Well, do you remember Jim Dale in the film...
Surviving, you can go.
That's smart. That's smart.
Sablon, anything.
Guillotine be gone.
Your head just flopping over.
Do you remember Jim Dale in the Carry On film, Don't Lose Your Head? And he's just being guillotined. It's in the French Revolution, they say. There's a note for you from Robespierre. It says, leave it in the basket, I'll read it later on.
There's a horrible truth to that, because, of course, it was maintained by contemporary witnesses that a lot of the heads were quite sentient for some time after decapitation.
What colour was the Model T Ford?
Don't say.
Black.
Oh.
Bless him, like a little puppy runs into
You can
the
have
wall.
any colour except as long as it's black.
Oh, he said that even that phrase.
History is
bunk. Have you got that as well?
Yeah, he did actually say that, I think. He said history is more or less bunk.
He was a Nazi.
He was a horrific anti-Semite. He was a grotesque man. There was nothing nice whatever to say about Henry Ford.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
Hitler only read 2 books, didn't he, when he was in prison?
Yeah.
One of them was Henry Ford's.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, horrible man.
Really.
Anyway, it wasn't black.
No, the first year of Ford Model T Fords, you couldn't get a black one. You could get them in grey, red or Brewster green.
Unless they were made in Manchester, in which case they were all blue.
Is that right? Oh, I like that. It's good.
I'm sorry. Yeah, they're blue. The Manchester ones, I'm fairly certain, were blue ones.
When did they start making them in Manchester? Quite a lot later.
1910, I think.
Oh, really? That's good. Between 1908 and 1927, they made 15,485,000 Model T Fords. And during that time, the price fell from $825 to $260.
Have you ever driven one?
Never have.
It's the hardest thing in the world.
It's all pedals, isn't it?
It's this business. It's just so hard. You have to put your foot on the clutch. It has 2 speeds, quite fast or really very fast indeed. And there's nothing you can do to slow it down
no brake
other than
pedal?
hit a tree. And there were no roads in them. There were only about 190 miles of road when that thing came out.
There we are, that's the Model T Ford. In fact, in the first year of production, black wasn't even an option. After 1913, they were all black, but there's no evidence that Ford actually ever said any colour you like, so long as it's black. Name 3 Scottish inventions.
Oh, and you're going to say they weren't invented in Scotland.
I don't know, depends what you say.
Well, television is always the one that's sort of claimed in it. Because John Logie Baird came up with one system. He came up with one system which wasn't used.
Alexander Graham Bell robbed the telephone.
Quite right, so certainly not Alexander Graham Bell.
Haggis.
Haggis, Not even haggis, you'd think, wouldn't you? Haggis was invented in ancient Rome.
Rubber tyres, we love.
Ah, rubber tyres you can have, I'll give you that.
Dunlop.
I'll give you Dunlop, yeah. But just to get through things that weren't, kilts were not. They were Irish. And the word kilt is a Danish word. Hogmanay is a French word. Did you know that? Yeah, aiguille à neuf, it's a French word. Whiskey was Italian. Even before that, probably Chinese, yeah? It's amazing, isn't it? Have you done anything in this bloody world, you may wonder? I will now tell you what they've invented.
Yes.
Scotch inventions and discoveries include adhesive stamps, the Australian national anthem, the Bank of England, bicycle pedals, the breech-loading rifle, you notice I'm going in alphabetical order, Bovril, the cell nucleus, chloroform, the cloud chamber, cornflower, a cure for malaria, the decimal point, the Encyclopedia Britannica, fountain pens, fingerprinting, hypnosis, hypodermic syringes, insulin, the kaleidoscope, the lawnmower, lime cordial, logarithms, lorries, marmalade, matches, motor insurance, paraffin, piano pedals, the postmark, pneumatic tyres, radar, the reflecting telescope, savings banks, the screw propeller, the speedometer, the steam hammer, raincoats, tarmac, teleprinters, tubular steel, typhoid vaccine, ultrasound scanners, the United States Navy, Universal Standard Time, vacuum flasks, wave-powered electricity generations, and wire rope.
Goodness me, thank you.
Well, you should be applauding the inventive Scots.
Yeah, and the population of Scotland's never been more than 5 million, so that's quite an achievement.
It is a
for that
Shortbread.
Scotch eggs, Scotch pancakes.
Dundee cake.
Scotch tape.
Yes, but Alex... Sitting in doorways, singing and crooning in a weirdly, inexplicably husky voice for some reason. I don't know. Why do they do that? Where's that come from, that voice?
Why are there...
I know you gobshite. That's, sorry, for some reason what they say to me. But no, Alexander Graham Bell, for all that we've rather traduced him, he was involved in sonar, and he developed a hydrofoil which travelled at 70 miles an hour in 1919. He had a metal detector. It was used to find the bullet on Garfield, the president, after he'd been shot by an assassin's bullet, and unfortunately it didn't work. They didn't find the bullet. He said it was confused by the bed springs. So Garfield died. So there we are. Lots and lots of Scottish things. Now, in China, the city of Jinan, spelt Qinan, but pronounced Jinan in China, is about the same size as Corby, you can see it behind us, and is also, by coincidence, the site of one of the country's largest steelworks. But what quite interesting material do they make their houses from?
I don't know, is it dinosaur eggs?
I'm almost inclined to tear up the real answer and say yes, but
Because I've got one.
a Chinese dinosaur egg.
Yes, it was a birthday present from my wife.
Every evening, Bill, 4 hours on the egg, just in case.
Yeah. I'm thinking about taking it abroad, you know. Taking it to the airport, you know, see if I can get it scanned for free, you know, just put it... Somebody goes, my God, what the... You know, I thought of doing that when the tortoise was ill, getting it saved. It's stone. It's fossil, obviously. It's stone, weighs... I thought it was a skull at first when I opened it. And I thought, that's a bit of a weird present, but I'll go along with it. Yeah, great. And they're huge, and they make very good building blocks. So they...
Well, it wasn't as gibberingly, drivellingly stupid an answer as it at first sounded, was it? No, it's not that. It is a very famous Chinese thing that these houses are
Bamboo.
constructed of. Oh, dear. Not bamboo. No.
Oh,
Sir. Yeah.
bootleg Coldplay CDs.
Bits of the Great Wall.
Yes is the right answer. Help yourself to 10 points. Absolutely right. Yeah, it's a rather sad thing, this Great Wall of China. It is disappearing. There's only 20% of it left.
Where has it gone?
Well, people just cart bits off to build pigsties and walled barns, and farmers just take bits because it's handy material. The Gobi Desert is encroaching upon the Great Wall.
Is it?
Yeah, unfortunately.
How rude.
Yeah, I know.
How does the desert encroach? Sort of like, you sort of look away and then...
Clay's grandmother's footsteps.
I'm sure it was. It's the same way you get the armrest on a train.
They should convert it into flats or something, you know, something useful.
Wouldn't that be brilliant?
If they converted it into flat... Look, it's thick enough for flats. You just need to knock a few windows on either side. And then you could probably have, you know, 400,000 or 500,000 flats all the way along it. And then people would look after their own bit with, you know, window boxes and everything.
Or a retail opportunity. The Great Mall of China would probably do it. That would do it. But, no. But there you are. Points all round to everybody who deserves them and none to those who don't. There were 7 Roman emperors who bore the name Caesar, not counting Julius, who started the whole thing, but of course wasn't himself an emperor. We all know what he did. He came, he saw, he conquered. But what did Nero do?
Fiddle, Rome.
Oh, did you say that? Oh, Joe, he didn't fiddle while Rome burned, no.
He had a concrete swimming hat.
He was very, very... He was very productive, wasn't he, Nero? He built most of Rome, not the Rome you see.
Well, he rebuilt it after it was burned down, indeed.
Did he have an enormous gold statue of himself built? Incredibly vain and stupid.
Vain is the word. His dying words were, "What an artist dies in me." And he played...
Was there someone in him at
and
the
of course... Small fauvised painter has just perished inside my being. Well, anyway, no, of course, the fiddle didn't exist in Roman days. The fiddle was invented, in the 15th century, I think, something like that. So he would have played Kithara or something, a sort of lyre-like thing.
But was he doing it like a sort of fire engine alarm? Like...
Well, there's some evidence he did try and put the fire out, actually. He blamed a small sect of people for the fire. It was a very useful scapegoat.
The gays.
No. Even smaller, slightly less well-dressed, and oddly enough, to this day, enemies of the gays.
It wasn't the Chavies.
No, it was even worse than the...
It was
those damned Christians, yes. Nero, played by Christopher Biggins, of course, in TV's popular I Clavdivs.
I Chavdivs.
Yeah. Some people think he may have even been playing bagpipes when he was watching...
Christopher Biggins? No, he is actually that side. Bagpipes, I'm sorry.
Yes.
No, can't be having it.
They have this tuning, and it's odd that Scots do that when they talk. I'm not sure. Very odd, though. So anyway, there we are. There's old Nero. Whatever it was, he was eventually booed off, of course, and succeeded by a more popular entertainer who was called Galbus, Servius Galbus Caesar Augustus, to be precise. And he got rid of bagpipe performances and he replaced them with tightrope walking elephants. Now, what's the commonest metal in the human body?
Ooh, that's a very good question.
Iron.
Iron? Oh dear, no.
I think it's mercury.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
I think it must be calcium.
Oh no, he's got it! He's got it, it's calcium! Absolutely right! £100. Right.
Because the bones are mainly calcium phosphate crystals, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wood.
Calcium atomic number 20. Last year I learned all the atomic numbers of all the elements.
Good Lord.
Because I was helping my son to revise. And I've actually tried to forget them as much as I can since then because it's just been so embarrassing to know them all. Selenium, 30 something.
I have no idea. I know it's close to arsenic because I saw
It's
it
34.
in the film Evolution.
It's 34. Selenium is 34, arsenic's 33.
Very good. Isn't it good?
But calcium,
we should really put railings round you and have children come and stare
calcium,
at you.
I presume, because calcium phosphate is the main constituent of bones.
Indeed, calcium is as a metal, is almost never found in nature.
Phosphorus is, of course, I think 15.
Yeah, let's move aside from the slightly more...
We're doing atomic number wheelies now. Wow! You pull up outside pubs and go, selenium, 32.
Calcium comes from the Latin calx, isn't it? Meaning a stone or a pebble, from which we get calculus and calculation, and recalcitrant, and all kinds of words. There you are. It was discovered in 1808 by Sir Humphrey Davy.
I think recalcitrant actually comes from calx meaning a heel, not calx meaning it's kicking back.
You're right. You should have points to that. It is indeed from a heel. You're quite right.
Now, this is a team game, isn't it? I'm on his team.
And what's another name for the common cormorant? Yes, Rory.
Sea crow.
Oh, very good. It is. That's the right answer. Any other?
The Latin name is Phylacrocorax.
What were you going to say?
Can I just give the Latin name? The cormorant is the Phylacrocorax carbo. The shag is Phylacrocorax aristotelis. It doesn't have the white face and the...
This is brilliant. I mean, this is everything I've got written down.
You get called tosser much?
Only...
Oh, no. Poor Rory.
It's a fair question. I only get called tosser by other people. The reason the sea crow is the actual word cormorant comes from Corvus marinus, which is the Latin for sea crow.
Old swatty.
Yeah. The Phylacrocorax graculus would be... It's the crested cormorant, isn't it? It's because the graculus is a jackdaw.
No, a jackdaw is Corvus monedula.
Yes, but it's another word. It's the actual Latin name. The actual Latin name for a jackdaw was graculus.
OK, Stephen, let's not fall out over this, Stephen.
No, it's what... No, I'm saying real Latin. No, you might be interested. Roman people actually called birds things before they were... Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
Something down there. Sorry about that. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Come on, Sean. There's a portal into the underworld here. It's ridiculous.
Anyway, I'm impressed with Rory, and I think everyone else is too. No,
I've got a feeling, Rory, that you have pulled.